Hey everyone, welcome to part 3 of the gas scooter build. What we got going on today is we're going to be building an exhaust and setting up the fuel tank. We were waiting on these parts in the mail, finally got here. We got a stock pocket bike exhaust, and then I ended up buying a cheap single wall stainless steel water bottle, I guess, canteen thing. And then I got a NPT fitting on there. It's been, I put some JB weld on it just to make sure it wouldn't leak up. I don't think it would anyway. But we're going to be using this as a fuel tank, fuel filter, and then we got some fuel line. This piece right here, should be the same diameter as the fattest part of the expansion chamber here, because this expansion chamber is tiny. It is really small. I mean, I don't think that'll give you a very great power band. It'll probably give you a real narrow power band, I would think. And that header is so long, so we're gonna cut this up, weld this piece in here. I ordered these both at the same time offline, so I hadn't really seen them before I got them. So this is way, I mean, this is really thick compared to what this exhaust is made out of. So I have a hard time. I don't know how well that's gonna weld up, especially with how poorly I weld. Anyway, we're gonna try it, see how it works out. We got a fuel filter and everything else, so hopefully we can get all this hacked up, welded up, and put it on the scooter today. We're also going to try cutting out our footboard. We got some marks kind of roughly put on there so we know where to cut. So let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, I got the exhaust all cut up. So what the plan is this header comes around the top right here. I'm probably going to shorten this up as short as I can, as close as I can get it to the head. A little warm still. End up welding this cone kind of like that. It's a 45-degree piece in there. And then on the end or other end, we're going to have that cone like that. Should make a nice little expansion chamber. And probably whatever I cut off the header, I'll just weld on to the end here. Depending on how loud it is, I might use the muffler. I really would prefer not to, because that thing's pretty ugly in my opinion. It's I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this cut up, tacked up, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, I got the I guess the divergent section of the expansion chamber tacked on there. You get an idea of kind of what's going on. I'm hoping that when it's all said and done, it's going to exit kind of out back here by the wheel. Make sure we clear the carburetor and everything. But yeah, that's what we got so far, and I'll update here in just a second. Well, got the divergent, the expansion chamber, and the convergent section welded up. Or the convergent section is just kind of tacked in place, but it's kind of what we're looking at. Looks alright. Decent little expansion chamber. Sure to work a lot better than what was originally on that pipe. So I'm going to finish it up and we'll see how it looks. Well, here's the finished product right here. Actually turned out all looking pretty good, I think. I think it'll sound pretty good too. I mean, for just being something I hacked together really quick, I think it actually looks nice. Once it's painted black, it'll definitely look a bit better. But we're gonna run it and check for pinhole leaks, because my welding is obviously not the greatest, so I'm sure there's gonna be a few pinhole leaks I'll have to tack up or weld up. But unfortunately, I did end up breaking my cutting wheel while I was building this exhaust, so we're not gonna be able to get the foot plate cut up today until I go get a new cutting wheel. But I think we're going to move on to working on the carburetor. We're going to throw a jet and build a throttle cable for it, so let's move on to that. I moved inside to start working on the carburetor, so we had a nice clean and well lit area to work. What we're going to do is I'm going to pull the float bowl off of here, put a new jet. I think we're going to start with a 74 because a 68 is about what's good for a stock version of this motor. And obviously it's got a few things done to it. So I'd rather run it a little rich and have to work my way down and then run lean and possibly burn out a piston or something. So we're just going to go ahead and get a jet in there, and then we're going to work on making a throttle cable for the slide in here. So I'll go ahead and pull everything apart, and we'll check back in after I do that. Here's the inside of the carburetor. No clue what size the stock jet is. I already cracked it loose, but changing the jets, ooh, got some rough threads towards the end or something. But changing the jets on these carburetors, these style, is really easy. There's only one jet, there's no tuning screws, so it's just one main jet. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that out and check back in. Turns out I bought the wrong jets, so that's not going to work. Let's hope this jet's big enough. Here's our slide out of the inside of the carb. I just have a open-ended line with nothing on the end, so what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take a drill bit the right size and poke it into some styrofoam, fill it with JB weld, and stick the end of the throttle cable in there and hope that works. So I'm going to go ahead and try that out, see if we can get a throttle cable set up, and we'll go from there. So here's the plan for the throttle cable end. I'm just going to pack this hole right here full of JB weld and then fray it out a little bit, stick it down in there with the JB weld dry. Hopefully it'll make a nice strong little notch on the end of there that we can fit through the slide and lock behind that little hole in there. So let's go ahead and try that out. Here are the results from the making the JB weld throttle cable, and it actually turned out alright. You know, it fits right through the slot that it needs to fit through. Let me try, see if I can do this with one hand. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that with one hand, but it does. It fits right through there and seems like it should work out just fine. So we'll have to try that out. While the JB weld finishes drying, I went ahead and hooked up the fuel lines and fuel tank really quick. So we got that all set up. After we finish mocking everything up, we're going to paint everything. But for right now, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for checking it out. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.